powerful beings. It's the Holistic Motivator, and today I'm going to talk to you about being conscious of your triggers, vices, and cravings. Now, why should you be conscious of your triggers, vices, and cravings? Now, listen, I'm not about to tell you to stop having stop being triggered, stop having vices, stop having cravings. I'm not about to tell you that. I'm not about to say that. I'm about to tell you to start being conscious of what they are and what they are telling you so you can modify your lifestyle so now you can actually get the ultimate, the best result. So it's a modification of your lifestyle in response to your awareness of a shift that needs to happen. So keep listening to this episode if you feel like sometimes you get in zombie mode totally by accident. You didn't try to, but all of a sudden you find yourself led by a string of habits, just stuff that just is like, I don't even know what's going on. So keep tapping into this episode of Detoxing and Fasting. This is a podcast. This is Ed Talks Daily, and every single day I have a podcast. So make sure y'all text Ed Talks to 561-510-9605 if you haven't done so already. And if you have not shared this to somebody, share it to somebody real quick. Share to 5 friends, comment done. So today I want to talk to you about something that I'm experiencing. Okay. So what makes Ed Talks Daily powerful is that Ed talks truth. Ed keeps it real with myself first. So in the wintertime, I notice patterns, right? And I actually know why those patterns because I'm very conscious of my triggers, my traumas, my habits, and how I'm feeling all of the time. Now, usually to be a man is to not feel anything. To be a boy is to not know what you feel and act out because you're not in tune with it. Okay. So basically, I'm saying we normally say don't feel because you're a man. But when you don't really know what's going on, you act like a boy. Because now you're angry, but you don't know you're angry. You see what I'm saying? So once you're able to find the root cause of how you act, you are able to transform how you are being because now you're realizing that, like, bruh, I'm actually responding like a little child and I need to transform how I'm responding. But let's get to the topic. We're going to say 3 keywords. I want you to write them down: vices, triggers, and cravings. Now let's reverse that and say cravings, triggers, and then vices. Okay? Can we do that? We're going to reverse it. Cravings, triggers, vices. So I'm sitting here, I'm done with the podcast, and I'm sitting down, and I'm like, I just did good. I looked at my work, I'm like, it was good. I'm sitting, and I'm like, now what? And all of a sudden, I feel a little bit tired, a little bit drained, because I just expressed myself to a bunch of people. Maybe the results was not like I expected. Maybe usually nobody does anything after. They just take it and go. And I'm like, I do this every day. When is things gonna get better? Like, are people gonna follow through? Just join the detox, do that. So I'm overthinking. I'm feeling like I'm gonna get more people to serve, more clients today. As things gonna get better, and all of a sudden, I feel like, damn, I just put in so much work, but it doesn't really matter. Is anybody listening, right? I feel like that a lot. I'm like, damn, okay, whatever. So then I'm like, okay, I gotta keep doing my day. So all of a sudden, I'm feeling a little bit drained. Now, this stress and anxiety is like, I'm by myself in the backyard, I'm working. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get married. I'm not thinking all of this. I'm not gonna be lonely all the time. When am I gonna really get to speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people? Now, I'm not thinking all of this consciously all of the time, but these are subconscious things that's coming up. Now, most people don't want to hear your story, so some people won't stick to it long enough to find out. But I want you to be one of those people that stick long enough because I I don't want to just give you information. I want to make it personal. So I'm sitting and I'm feeling all these emotions. Now all of a sudden I feel like, damn, I need to ingest something, right? So I'm like, I need to relax. Now what do I do? Sometimes I'm just gonna sit. Sometimes I go for a run. Sometimes I smoke a joint. Now, sometimes I smoke more joints because I feel more drained and I don't feel like running. Or it's like it helps me relax. Now there are benefits, but what if my response to all of that was, yo, I don't need a substance. I don't need chips. I don't need sweets. I don't need candy. I don't need gum. I just need to sit down and breathe. Now I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with ganja. I love ganja. I'm saying the moment that in order for you to step away, you have to eat this. You have to drink that. You have to smoke this. It means you're really dependent upon this substance. So I am not here to bash what you do. I'm here for you to analyze it to see it. What is it in response to? So now my cravings came out of a trigger. The trigger was a series of thoughts. My cravings came out of a trigger. My trigger was a series of thoughts, either consciously or subconsciously. My vice becomes the thing that I do to escape the emotion, the thought, the feeling, or the idea of whatever's going on. That's my vice. We could call that. So you get triggered on the basis of what you're thinking now, what you've been thinking over time, and what you thought way before ahead of time. So all of these things is a series of things. Now, why must we step into the consciousness of? The consciousness of allows us to do the actions out of. When I step into the consciousness of that this is happening, I'm able to do the actions out of. Now somebody says, well, Ed, I can smoke a joint, go about my day, be very productive, and it's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that, and in fact, it helps me. Maybe I don't even smoke because it doesn't really work for me, but I ingest some edible, or I do the steaming. Shout out to Steam Genie in Jamaica, Ryan. One Liberty, make sure you check him out. He has this nice little steam ganja. I'm speaking about this for a long time. I didn't want to speak about it, but I'm like, bruh, you gotta speak what the people need. You gotta, what you go through, your challenges, so you gotta make sure you stay authentic in the fact that you be real with people, and the more you're real, the more that realness is gonna impact, because that's the point to begin with. I don't care if you think I'm perfect. I don't want to be perfect. If I said I was perfect, I wouldn't be able to connect with any of y'all. I'd be like, who's this guy? He thinks he's like the guru. I'm no guru. I'm no expert. I'm just a guy in the process who's happened to be spiritually gifted. So just allow me to share my gifts with you and let us grow together along this path, because that's what we're doing, right? That's right. That's what we're doing. Okay. So we had a little authentic moment there. Can we do that? Can we just be real? Not always have to put a front, a face. Can we be real 100 down? Yes, we can. And does it make me a bad person? Of course not. Does it make you a bad person? Of course not. Somebody says sex is my vice. I love some sex. And when I feel a certain emotion of like inadequacy, lack of self-confidence, lack of love, lack of self-love, man, I know from a spiritual perspective, I'm like, man, this ain't gonna serve me. Making that call ain't really gonna work for me. But you know that on the other side of you getting piped down is like you feeling at least a little bit better in the moment, and for a few moments after. Then afterwards, you're like, shit. Self-confidence goes deplete because you're like, I don't even really like this person, or they look like Flavor Flav. And you're like, I don't know, what did I just do? And for my guys, same thing. You're like, yo, I want to get in the box, trying to impress this girl, because I really just want to have sex with her, because that's my way out of it. And So I'm about to spend my check on her, take her out on the date, and do my whole scheme of thing. I don't really like her. I know it's a hit and done. I'm about to spend a check, get what I need, and leave. Now at the end of it, I'm like, bro, have I became really this empty, just like trading money for sex? Or sometimes I'm in the hood. People are like, bro, just go on page back. I'm not gonna say that. and put the money in, get get the vagina to go. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy said, it's called pocket pussy. Got take the pussy out your pocket. Okay. Make it kid friendly. I get these voices in my head. God is like, don't curse in your podcast. Okay. Don't curse. Don't curse. Okay, I won't curse. So it's the vagina in your pocket. Okay, you gotta take the vagina out of your pocket, and you're like, okay. But anyways, you depending on that, it's like, or let's go. Let's say you don't have the pocket vagina, and you don't have the money. So now you got the vagina on your phone. You got the phone pussy. Okay, let me take that back. Let me take that back. So now you the only fan to that site, and you stuck on it, and you're like, damn, I just want some love. I need some blood flow. I need a girlfriend. I need a man, a real one, not a side piece, a man. So then you're like, okay, I gotta do something. So now you are over consuming pornography. Okay. So now the reason is you just want some blood flow. It's a natural human urge. You should be having sex. Yes, you should. Like, I'm 25, I'm 26. Your hormones are like babies. I need babies. It's a natural thing, but there are other things attached. So you're like, okay, this is very interesting. So now you feel a little bit sad, you feel unloved, you feel lonely. So you're like, oh, let me go get that rose real quick. I've been seeing them roses out there. I'm like, what is that? What is that? Okay. I saw like a device with, what looks like a penis and what looks like a rose with a little tongue. I'm like, okay, you better get, I don't know, is your pussy gonna be solar powered now? Okay. Because all that electricity, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that. But anyways, there's EMFs. So there's EMFs, and you're putting yourself at risk for doing that. What are the risks? So somebody says, masturbating is good for me. I know we're kind of going, yeah, we're talking about all this stuff. Yeah, don't matter. So you're like, masturbating is really, it helps me. Okay, cool. No pressure. But do you wake up to that? Go to sleep to that? Do it like, yo, I'm just unlovable. Instead of creating love inside, you're like, okay, I'm just going to look at somebody. I'm gonna look somebody perpetuate their childhood trauma for my entertainment. Really, what most of the porn is. So, over time, all of those things, what it does is, it takes your power from you to it. Your power is now shifted from you being able to be the master of your soul, the captain of your ship, to now you depending upon a substance, a medium, a thing for your internal sense of peace, and that is the issue. And that is why you detox. So, I am not saying this to point a finger at you. I am literally looking at myself and saying, you gotta do better. And this is what being real with yourself is about. You don't have to be like me and share it with people. You don't. You really don't. But you can share it with God, confess into the Lord. First into the Lord. Okay? So, I was celibate for like 3 years, but I wasn't really celibate because I watched a whole bunch of porn. And it's not good. And I realized that something I've been doing since I was like 12 years old. We all kind of like got down that rabbit hole. And as I grew more and I'm learning about semen retention and how that's good for your spiritual elevation, I started to realize that these vices that you consume off of the devices long term have ramifications that is not even about morality. You know what I mean? It's not even about morality. It's about what you can create inside of you and what the ability to do better. Okay? So at some point in your life, you have to say, hey, you got to look at it as it is. You got to say, look at the truth and own up to it and say, I have to shift that. You know, I'm not gonna wake up and do that every day to myself. Before you even have ability to create energy, you drain your own energy, and you wondering why you have no energy all day. You know, that's what certain vices do to your body. It depletes you to where you are letting go of your own power. So what I'm saying is not to look at it and feel bad about it and like blame and be in the guilt. Is to understand that your sin is your sin affects your heaven that you can experience now. So the sin is affecting the fact that you can be creating heaven within you, but you're sinning instead of creating the heaven. So now it's time to switch how you respond to the things by knowing what you're responding to. And then now instead of giving to the vice, you go to the advice. So it's very hard for me to confess, to speak, and then to now go able to and then go back. It's hard for me to say all of this and then go back and then do all of it again. I have to kind of shift. And the more I keep doing this for myself, the more I am going through these and look, I gotta let this go. These are ties to my spirit, to my soul, and they're not working for me and it's not satisfying. There's a new calling in my life. In order for me to get to that new calling, there is a calling I have to transmute. I gotta get better. I gotta grow out of this situation. So I'm not going to get stuck to this state. I'm not going to get stuck to this place. I'm going to transform my life because I am the master of my soul, the captain of my ship, and I decide where I want to go by growing there. So you're like, yo, Ed, why eloquate? Why share? Why express? Why keep it real with yourself? Why write this down? Why journal? Why acknowledge your vices and then acting on that knowledge? Okay? The reason why is because once you're able to do that, you have done the first step of the 12. You've admitted it, right? One of the major things the Creator said is confess into me. That's one of the best ways to start the pathway of forgiveness is for your confession. Okay? So now, the reason why I confess is because the relatability. I don't want to speak to you like, oh, you should do that. I want to express to you. Okay. What's up, McConnell, Coach McConnell? What's up, Roz? All right. So let's go back. I know a lot of people don't heard about that. So we got triggers, cravings, and triggers are about the same. So when you trigger to do something, it's off of a craving for something else, but you're triggered to react by doing an activity that will almost supplement what you really need. So I really need love, but I'm going to react by getting some candy or sweets. I really want comfort, but I'm gonna have some ice cream because I really want some peace. I can cultivate it, but I'm gonna get a substance in order to do that. I'm really feeling like, yo, I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm gonna drink some alcohol to do that. What is your vice? And what advice do you know you ought to take? And if you've been accustomed to those things, what is the best route to not only realize them, but realize what you want? Get out of it and create what you want. It's not first is the acknowledgement and it's acting on that knowledge. So after you realize it, you actually make it. So now you want to start by detoxing. So one of the major ways to make a shift, one of the major ways to gain clarity, one of the major ways to let things go is by letting things go. Letting the food go that's not helping you. Letting certain stuff out of your body. certain stuff out of your mind, changing your habit patterns. So I want to invite y'all to detox and cleanse your internal organs, your mind. This is going to clear up the residue of your past habits. The residue of your habits is not only prevalent and it's not only there in your mind or in your life, the residue of your past habits is in your body. Literally, there are neural pathways, there are hormonal changes that happen when you have a specific habit loop. And that habit loop looks like strands that bond you together to certain ways of being. And until you break that habit loop, it's going to be very difficult for you to grow and transform. One of the best ways to break a habit loop is not just by changing the decisions you make, but it's changing the internal structure. So we're talking about breaking neural pathways. One, that's the brain. Breaking chemical residues. So you know how you've been eating chicken and you love chicken, but then when you detox, you try to eat it again, your body is not accustomed to it. It's the same thing. So when you get off of something, your body says, I'm no longer accustomed. The residue is no longer there. I've made myself anew. So then there's a big shift that happens. So when you say, I'm going to detox for 7 days, 14 days, or as we do the detox for 21, and it takes about 66 days to break a habit, but 21 to start a habit, you can actually dismantle those residues, those strains that was part of how you acted before. And as you let go of the stuff, you let go of the strains. It's an intercellular level, like Janelle says. So as you let go of the food, you let go of the vice, you let go of the stuff that you feel like you need it, you realize that you don't need it, and there's a sense of vitality that comes in you where your very essence brings some calmness and peace that you're like, yo, you mean to tell me I had this for free? So that means if you go 21 days, you do this detox cleanse, you do the juicing, you do the clearing, you do the journaling, right? You're able to, like what we're doing, what you're listening to now, you should be on day 3 of this detox fast that I'm doing. And by being on day 3, right now, you would feel way more clearer. So when we're having these conversations, your intuition is more on point because now you are clear for you to listen to your intuition, for you to listen. You're more clear, right? You're more spiritually in line. So that's when the transformation happens. And I urge people, in the beginning of spring is one of the best times to do that. So springtime, new plants are being given birth to, and people, what are people doing in spring? What is the key word for spring? Clean. Spring cleaning. Everybody cleaning their homes. So people clean their rooms, they clean their homes, they clean their backyards, they get rid of stuff that's not serving. They make sure they throw the stuff in the garden, you know? They turn some of the stuff that grew but no longer is growing into compost and so on and so forth. What if we did the same thing for our bodies? We went with the seasons. We understood now is the time to plant new seeds. I can't put new seeds in an old environment. So the way I see my transmutation of habitual things that's destroying certain things is look, if you understood that, if you remember how much vitality and clarity you had when you could do without, it's hard for you to go back and to do it with. However, here's what happens. I'm gonna give you a real life example of my own journey and keeping it real with y'all, because we don't have enough realness in the world, you know? We don't have enough realness. But here's the thing. I have tried to stop smoking weed for a long time. And that's because my mindset was off about it, right? And my thing was, weed wasn't the problem. My obsessive compulsive character was the issue. Not weed. It was definitely my obsessive compulsion. which means I didn't learn how to tap into my innate sense of peace. I thought, okay, I would overdo it, is the issue. I would depend on it. It's like I can't sleep or eat without it. And that's the issue, right? I didn't, and then I realized every time I detoxed, I have no need for it. I'm like, even candy, sweet chips. Every time I detox, I cleared the blueprint. I'm like, oh snap, something just happened. It's like I don't even, because I discovered that I was good without it. But it's like the more you keep the strand going, you're like, okay. But then let me tell you the truth. Please don't rain. Please don't rain. And then, but here's what would happen. Something would happen. I would start getting more stressed. Life would happen. Just stuff. You know, stuff really does happen. And I say, you know what? I'll give in again. But then remember, I kept trying to stop. I didn't think about discipline. I just said stop. I'm just trying to stop myself from doing something because I thought this is not good. This is not good, and that's what I keep hearing. This is not good. This is not good. So I kept telling myself that, and so I felt bad for doing something that I should have. I really shouldn't feel bad for doing it. I should just understand I need to be in control of it. So I would listen to my parents would say, "Man, you smoke. You don't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. That's bad." So people talking so much bad. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, but then life happened again, and then what happens is I would start doing the thing again. I'm like, oh, and then now over compulsiveness, because I was not actively choosing. I was reacting to escape. When you react to escape, even after you detox, there is still a little bit of the residue of a past habitual pattern that gets triggered, and there's a whole loop that can happen where you have things that were attached to that one thing, habits that were attached to it. So now all of a sudden, after your detox, you start doing that again, and then with that comes this. So now you start eating that again. With this comes that. So you start going to those places again. Then with this comes this more indulgence. Then now you start watching that again. Then with this come with this indulgent. Now you start using that tool again. And then now it's a whole cycle, and you're like, dang, I just went back to how I was. Because your mindset about it was, look, let me try to avoid it rather than let me consciously decide what I want to do and create a certain way of being conscious about why I'm responding this way. You are now being unconscious about your decision, and this unconsciousness brings what is habits that are attached to habits. So, and then that creates a cycle. So now you find yourself going in the same cycle over, where you start and stop, you start and stop, you start and stop. And one day you drink caffeine, you're not. One day you eat meat, you're not. One day you're smoking a lot, and you're not. But if you went back and said, what if I took this consciousness and I didn't say I'm going to go a period of time without this, without that, and I'm going to try to be so, but I said after my detox and fast, I'm going to create within me a conscious decision making process, which means I'm going to ask myself, do I need this right now to supplement what I have inside of me? Or is this going to be an addition to how I'm already experiencing it? And, I can use a little relaxing right now. Alright? Am I choosing to do this at this point? Do I really need that to do it at this point? Am I choosing to smoke after I eat? Or do I need to eat in order to do I need to smoke in order to eat? Because then it becomes, you're stuck in, and I've been there. You got $15 left. I've been so real. You got $15 left, and you're like, am I gonna eat or am I gonna smoke? You're like, I need to smoke in order to eat. That's an issue. Now that's an issue, not because ganja's bad. I'm not telling you it's bad. I'm saying it's because you need that in order to do that, when obviously you can't even afford it. So it's like you are enslaved. So you want to be free. You want to wake up one day and say, you know what, I'd like to do that. That'd be fun. And you do it. But I don't have to do it. I don't have to. I can choose to just be, and I'll be okay. That's all I want you to do. Like, it's like, yo, yeah, I definitely want to NFT every episode. That's exactly what you just spoke what I said. I'm gonna work on that. Thank you. I'm gonna work on that because I am giving really good information. You are absolutely right. Thank you, Roz. Shout out to Roz Juba Music for confirmation of the NFT. Roz Juba Music. Check him out. So what I'm saying is, like it's not a question of morality, but a question of freedom. It's not a moral obligation to be disciplined, but it frees you when you're disciplined. It's not moral obligation to eat a certain way, but it frees your cell and your energy. You're like, I feel great. Yo, let's go. Because you just feel good naturally. You're like, yo, what drug is this guy on? What you had today? I ain't had no drugs. I had no drugs. I promise. I'm high off life. You want to be able to be high off life. And the more you're able to be high off life, if you feel like you need some, if you feel like you want to smoke some weed, cool. You already high off life. You just, hey, let me just relax a little bit. And then you good. If you feel like you want to take a glass of wine after a long week, a long day, you cool. But you don't need it. It's like, I don't need that glass of wine. I feel like it. But then this is balance. And then overindulgence is when, like, I really, if I don't get this, I cannot stand within myself. I cannot be right now. And I've been there where I felt like a crackhead. And I ain't never smoked crack. I ain't never smoked crack a day in my life. I'm over here scratching. I'm like, damn, I need another blunt. I'm like, damn, where the next blunt coming from? Like, oh my goodness. Like, that is an issue. Okay? And what if we took that same energy? Somebody said this. Look, if you have no money right now, you being outworked by a crackhead that's trying to get their next fix. they gotta get it. They like, I gotta get that next fix, so I need to do whatever. Right? I'm talking to this dude the other day, and he's like, this girl came up to him and said, I'll give you dome for 20. I just gotta eat. I'm like, damn. It's the world we live in now. Shoot, dome for $20? $20? You gonna show me with that mouth? I'm like, okay. Yo, that's the type of people you go. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't even know that stuff happened in the streets. But they said that a crackhead will do whatever they can for their next fix. So now, I want you not to be on the side of, oh, I'm gonna do whatever I need to hide, to run away from how I can really be if I go inside. Nah. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna take that same energy to say, I'm gonna do whatever it is to necessary to be the best possible state I can be in without being in who covered their face? Without being in bondage to this. So it's a freedom. It's not like, yo, I need to get my next fix, so I'm gonna do whatever I need. It's like, bro, I understand that the fix that never runs out, that's not a fix, that's a well of abundance, is in me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align myself a certain way so that way I can create that peace and clarity. Somebody want to know, what's the process? What's the process? Well, you need tools, you need practices, you need routines, and all of those are a sum total of habits. So, holistic habits, holistic tools, holistic routines, and being a conscious, free-thinking being is going to help you a whole lot. So, and I said start with detox. Okay, somebody says freedom. Choose freedom over indulgence. Let me tell you something. Somebody says, I'm free, Ed. Do not tell me I can't use that rose. I love that rose. Yo, that rose would do some stuff you can never do to me. That's what they said. I said, you do? So I'm free, so I can do whatever I want. That's my freedom. I can choose to use this rose if I want to. It's my vagina. I can use it now. And then somebody says, you know it's full of EMFs, right? You know long term you might not be able to have kids, and you should not do this every day, all of the time. Maybe you shouldn't do it at all. Maybe you should spend that energy with some yoni eggs. Um, Somebody said, maybe you should go take a tantra class. Alright? Right? Maybe you should find yourself a massage partner. I don't know, do something. Be like, no, but I am free, so I can indulge in what kills me slowly. I'm free. I need to smoke that cig. You don't tell me what to do. Like, I'm free. I can eat myself to the grave. You do not tell me what to do with my mouth. It's my stomach. I'm free. Don't come at me. But like, but you're killing yourself slowly with each bite. Why you doing that? I'm free. Don't talk to me. Talk to the head. No. Freedom does not lie in compulsion. Freedom does not lie in self-destruction. Freedom lies in when you build yourself up. Freedom lies in discipline. Freedom is not that I'm over compulsive, that I lost control, so I am saying I'm free as an excuse to make people feel like you shouldn't judge me. Freedom is I am so free that I am not even judging myself. I'm choosing to go in the right path because I understand if I don't, I am missing out on what's available for me by doing so. That's freedom. It's like, the universe is so great and abundant, and there are laws for that abundance. So guess what? It's not that I'm afraid of sinning, or like God is gonna come down. I will strike you up, you unfaithful servant. It's not that I'm afraid of going to hell, or if I do that, I'm gonna go to hell. It's that I don't want to live in hell while I'm here, and not create heaven while I'm here, and then miss out on heaven too. It's not a matter of morality or right or wrong. It's a matter of what do you want? What's the best thing for you? Somebody says, well, that's the best thing for me because I feel at ease when I'm at it. Well, you do feel at ease. It does help you. And by very meaning, it has some stuff have a lot of benefits. But what I'm saying is you can't just depend on that only. You have to be able to wake up and create vitality by yourself. Qigong, affirmation, yoga, running, swimming, praise. So 3 things I got from the word that I'm now turning into holistic practices. By that I mean something that helps you holistically to create vitality is praise, prayer, and meditating on the word. I want you to remember this. Praise, prayer, meditating on the word. Praise is when you exemplify gratitude for the grandeur of God and His creations. That's through songs. That's through your very essence, your very being, your very awe of how that tree is so tall and the trees are singing and the sun is in my face. That's praise. Thank you. You can listen to gospel. That's praise. Get yourself in a good state. All right, you could just be in nature and just like, God, I am amazed. The other day, I just said 400. There's like 400 planets or something. So many galaxies. I'm like, Lord, I am. Wow. How could you? I don't even understand it. Lord, you are amazing. Right? That praise creates vitality. Praise, prayer. Prayer is one of the manifestation tools. Prayer is one of the best manifestation tools ever. Okay? Because it consists of these steps. And I just kind of prayed but didn't. I confessed it. I confess. Speaking to the Lord. Look, confess is awareness. Somebody think, oh, let me go confess. Look, I am so grateful I was not raised Catholic because I probably would not follow the word. My friend told me that they had to get scrutinized by the priest. Look, don't depend on a medium to judge you and condemn you. God is the medium, baby. Y'all going straight to everybody. I want to know about my life. I want to go to a psychic. You want to pull cards? Oh, you got to go to the priest. God said, I'm going to put a piece of me in you. You want to come to me? Go through the Holy Spirit, and I'll be there. Okay. So, don't come to me to go to God. You come to me to go to God, I'm going to say, hey, no. God puts people in your path to help you to share stuff, teachers and stuff. It's all in the Word. But they're not there for you to come be the intermediary to for you to go to God. You are that. All right. You that. The temple. Okay. Just remember that. You're the temple. I'm the temple. Yes, I'm the temple. I got the power. I got the power. I got the power. I got the. Okay, chill. Relax. Relax. Okay. Acknowledgement, forgiveness. Forgiveness is, you know what? I realize I done that. I realize I watch too much porn. Yeah, I realize I overindulge in that. Yeah, I realize sometimes I shouldn't eat that. I realize sometimes I overeat. I realize sometimes I run away by doing that. I realize that. Uh, I am letting that go. Forgiveness is about letting it go. God, please help me release this. A lot of times, it asks for you to have strength in the midst of temptation. I mean, you don't realize, like, a lot of stuff you probably learned, didn't learn, that stuff is so powerful, but people just make it so about religion that they don't see the practicality of it when it's not even about religion. It's the most practical thing ever. Forgiveness. Oh, please give me the courage and strength. Like fortifying yourself with words so that you can have the courage and strength though you walk through the valley. Like Psalms of praise, Proverbs of wisdom, and then thanking God for His grandeur. So forgiveness. First, you acknowledge, you forgive, you ask for strength, you thank God for it, you praise with your you. Okay, here's how I start. Praise. First, I start with praise because I want to let God know that I am amazed. Okay, and also praising of yourself. Now, not when you in prayer, but just like I'm a being. I'm an infinite source that God can use, and you gotta start from a point of power, not from a point of I'm a sinful, horrible person. No, start from a place of power. I'm an amazing light from the divine source who happens to sin because I'm also a human. And I understand that, so I'm letting that go so I can grow. I'm asking God for the courage and strength to do so. And I'm thanking God as if it's already done. And I already see it, and I'm stepping into it, and I'm going into this next path without doing it because I know the power that lies within. Formula, right? So praise, prayer, and meditate on the word. Now, once you meditate on the word long enough, you start to become the word. You know? So by that, your brain will bring stuff out that you need at the moment. You don't even know. A verse will come, like an insight will come. Once you meditate on the word enough, you make the meditation your word. I take psychedelics, especially when I'm looking to clear stuff up. I recommend y'all, if you really want to heal and you want to type into subconscious scripts, check out psychedelics. And in my moments of that, I remember one time I was experiencing a lot of fear, right? Because you might have fear, but you don't really know it up until you might take a psychedelic and it lets you know about your fear. So I took a psychedelic, I realized my fear, and I was in my room, and I was just being so paranoid. I was looking out the door. I was like, "Yo, I'm like Malcolm X with the gun at with the corner in the eye." I'm like, "They coming for me?" I'm like, "Who coming for me? Who they coming?" So I had all this fear. I'm like, you see, this fear. This thing is so far from me. Damn, I missed the good audio. I screwed the mic up. The fear was actually coming from I was scared that, like, if I really do this and share what I really know, that they're gonna come for me. So I went through a series of things where I kept realizing my fear, and I kind of dismantled it because I subconsciously rewiring, And then my aura, how I presented myself, what I talked about, how I stood up, all of that started shifting when I started to let go of the underlying fear that if I do what I do, they will come for me. I had to accept that they will come, but I will come too. And if they do, I'm divinely protected. So in doing so, I was able to, but then this is what I was saying. In the midst of it, there was a point where I really, really was very like feeling it. And I started speaking. I was like, though I walk through the shadows of the valley of the death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. That rod and that staff, they comfort me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the day of my life, and I will dwell forever. Yo, I was like, let's go. Ain't none of that. All of a sudden, I'm like, power. I'm like, yo, I feel so much stronger. So that's the power of the word. But when you need that, you should have meditated on it before for you to know that, for you to memorize it, for your very essence to be able to express it. You know, you see Satan, you say, Satan, die, Satan. And Satan died. You're like, oh boy, where did Satan go? Because you spoke it with your power. Look, with your word, you can cast the demons away, right? Eradicate the spirit of fear from your body. You know what I'm saying? So when you meditate on the word, certain stuff can't phase you, because when you feel them, you're like, man, I know the power I got, baby. When you know the power you got, you walk differently. People are like, yo, what's with this guy? Look, when I walk around, I see people look at me a certain way, and I know why they look at me that way, because I know they can see my spirit, even when I say nothing. So that's why it's important for you to meditate on the word. Now, everybody's going to give you their word, and they're going to claim that to be the word. Now, I want you to remember this. Man's word might be truthful or wrong, but God's word lies forever. And it goes through time. That's why you got to realize that the word is the truth. You know, you hear so many different words, but then when you go back, it's all in the word. All right? Somebody said, I want a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. I want a bird, bird, bird. Okay. Calm down. I'm in a good mood. Can I be in a good mood? Bird is not the word. God is the word. Okay? I want a bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. God is the word. Okay? There's a power in the word. And the thing is, people are looking at the word, and instead of like, dang, this is telling me so much truth of what I can be, they like, man, this is reminding me of what I'm not. I can't look at it. No. If you keep trying to run away from, you're reminding yourself of what you're not, you're ignoring from seeing what you can be. And once you look at it, oh, you mean to tell me I'm a royal priesthood? You mean this kingdom I'm supposed to be running it? Oh, snap. Oh, ooh. You mean to tell me I am the descendant of a... Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, you mean my thoughts can create things? Oh, I have the same power to do the same works? Oh, you mean to tell me if I don't do that, I'll be better at this? Oh, the word is not a tool of condemnation. It's a tool of freedom. It allows you to really see the truth about what's possible for you. And once you step into that truth, and you honor that truth, and you live in that truth, and you embody the truth will set you free. And that's my message, and I'm sticking to it. It's the Holistic Motivator. I want to thank y'all for tapping into another episode of Ed Talks Daily. Once again, y'all make sure you subscribe to this podcast by going to edtalksdaily.com. Once you go to edtalksdaily.com, you can subscribe to this podcast. It's not just a live video. This is a podcast. That means that I get to empower people years and years and years and years, even after I'm not here. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. Go to edtalksdaily.com. Text edtalks to 561-510-9605. You're going to get added to my text messaging tribe. And guess what? Some people didn't come here because they saw a notification. They came here because I personally text them and they knew about it through my text. So if you want to be one of those people, part of the tribe, the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, text Detox to 561-510-9605. Thank you, Miss CT. Appreciate that. I feel awesome. So yeah, text that number so you can get the access. Oops. So you can get access to the text messaging. And guess what? I am detoxing for 21 days. Today's day 3 of the detox. And if you're not in it, you're missing out. I don't know what to tell you. Don't miss out. We're going from the 21st to April 12, I think. And you can start today. So you don't even have to, because next week is when we're gonna do the fast. This week we're just letting go. So if you want that, text detox to that same number or go to holisticlifestyletribe.com and you'll be able to get access to the internal spring cleaning detox. Okay? Don't miss out. Some of you may have never done it with me before, but if you do it with me, you're going to see the benefits of it because it's so progressive, and I remind you, I send you motivation, I send you tips, I have journal prompts, I have everything organized from day 1 to 21. There's a video with each one, what you need to do, the juicing, the teas, the herbs, the detox. I got all of that set up. All right? But, like I know humans know it's good for them, but they're just like, I'm not going to do it. Don't be that human. Just take a chance and you'll be surprised. All right? Stay in your power, stay blessed, and I'll see you when I see you. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I really remind you that you have the unlimited power in you to create whatever it is that you want, to reveal the person that you are. But remember, let go of the vice, be conscious of the trigger and the cravings to transform your life. All right?